save these cities. This isn't like, we're going to do something. We have to save St. Louis. We have to save Chicago. I know all about Chicago. I have a great, beautiful building. I'm so proud of it. But, you get less proud when you see all the crime. When they announced 2 weeks ago, 11 people killed, this is over a weekend, I think they said 38 people shot and 11 people dead. And then you watch Pritzker get up and say, we've got crime under control. And I will say that Cash and the FBI did a good job. With a very light force, they went in, and for about 4 months, Cash or so, yes, they've been working on keeping crime down. They have brought the numbers down a little bit. But those are the easy numbers. The first 20, 25% are the easy numbers. That's where it gets. Then you have to bring in the big forces, right, which is what we always intended to do. But I think the FBI's done a very good job. In particular, in Memphis and Chicago, they brought it down a little bit. Like 20% and 25%. Well, I guess it's not so little, but we have a long way to go. We think Chicago is going to be next.
So, as you guys know, it looks like Trump is trying to bring in the National Guard to these different cities. St. Louis, Chicago, Memphis, right? And I'm from St. Louis, so in my humble opinion, I think it would be great for us because, the crime here is crazy, right? Because we do have a lot of crime here in St. Louis, right? But I just feel like, the National Guard shouldn't be messing with innocent people because let's be real, the people here in St. Louis is different, right? Because, they different, right? They different, especially these YNs, man. So, I kind of agree. I do agree with Trump on this because, we got to do something about these crime rates because yesterday, man, I heard a shooting right up the street from my house. I don't stay in the hood, but I'm close to it, right? But I'm just saying, man, I just think all of these cities definitely need to be saved, in my humble opinion, because the crime, in these different cities are, crazy, right? Um, but I just feel like the National Guard shouldn't just mess with innocent people, right? Don't just go around just messing with innocent people that you see roaming around the park, roaming around the neighborhoods. Maybe they're just trying to go walk to the gas station. That maybe they're trying to go to the bus stop. They shouldn't just be messing with innocent people because a lot of people. Because I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like the National Guard is going to be roaming around the hood a lot, right? So so National Guard, I'm warning you, don't be messing around with innocent people because again, these people in St. Louis is different. Don't mess with, don't do it, right? Because a lot of people don't have cars. A lot of people just trying to, catch the bus to go to work. They might just want to run to the gas station real quick. Everybody ain't on that type of, that ish, right? You know, I just feel like, we just gotta, they just need to be careful who they messing with, right? And then we also the people, the and then let me say this too, right? They some people got that ego thinking like, oh, the National Guard can't F with me because I got this type of bro. I'm telling you, do you really want to risk your life trying to get into a war with the army? Do you understand what they got? Right? So we also need to be careful on trying to mess with them because they got that, you don't know what they got. They stuff is more powerful than the guns we got. They stuff is way more powerful, right? And if it gets so bad, they can tear the whole city down, right? So I'm just saying, man, I just feel like I agree with having it just because, just to keep an eye out on the crime, right? Because the crime is bad out here, in my opinion. But at the same time, don't just mess. Don't. Be, I just feel like the National Guard shouldn't just be messing with random people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are struggling out here. A lot of people just got evicted out their homes. They just trying to find a way to get to where they need to get to. right? You know, and look, I love my city, I love St. Louis. I love this city. I grew up. I'm born and raised here. I'm grateful to be a part of this city. There's a lot of great people in St. Louis, right? You know, and I'm forever repping St. Louis. This is my. I love my city, man. I love my city. We got a lot of great things. We got a lot of great restaurants. It's a lot of great things here in St. Louis. But we got to be realistic, man. The crime rate is crazy, and I see a lot of people in the comment section, from the TikTok video, like, "Nah, St. Louis don't need to be saved." You know what I'm saying? Nah, leave us alone. Leave us alone. To people talking about the tornado. Where was this during the tornado? Like, you know, saying all these type of things, man. But you know what the tornado got to do with the crime? I think, in my opinion, that tornado was a wake up call for people in St. Louis. That was a wake up call that somebody's on the way. That the man above is on his way, right? So, you know, I think that's that tornado saying, like, God is on the way. Jesus is on his way. God is tired of seeing, you know, what he's seeing in St. Louis, man, or seeing in general. God's getting tired of it. God is on his way, in my personal opinion, right? You know, so that's in my part, in my humble opinion, right? So, again, I think the National Guard is great, and again, I love my city. I love my city, St. Louis. I love everything about St. Louis, but we need this, guys. We need it, in my personal opinion. So, I think it'll be great. Hopefully, but again, hopefully that the National Guard just don't try to mess with random people, because then it's gonna be a whole war out. Then there's really gonna be a war, right? It's really gonna be a war if National Guard just start messing with people. So I just feel like, National Guard just need to be careful who they messing with, and people need to be careful about how they talk to the National Guard, or National Guards, man. They, everybody just need to be careful, man, because one escalation could lead to another. It can, it can get out of hand. So we just need to be careful, right? But anyway, let me guys let me know what you guys think of this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment what you think of the video. Give me a thumbs up what you think of if you like the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.